Let's go crude. Okay, let's check this out, guys and gals. What did we say? We know number 3 patterns off JaySignal works great when it first breaks low value area. This is called a number 3 pattern. There's only one setup to learn. It's called the number 3 pattern on JaySignal. Okay? The best number 3s are going to happen when you get rejected off that low value area. Right here got rejected. We had right here, watch. We got rejected once at low value. We got rejected twice, meaning it went off a low value. We got rejected 3 times. Right here, multiple times it got rejected. So what do we want to do? When it finally breaks low value area with trend, we want to take a number 3. And I said, the next trade setup is a number 3 short. You have to remember, we had a big trade here. We got back inside a high value here. It gave us a corrective wave all the way down to our low value area and gave us a number 1 long here and a number 1 long here. They were off 2 number 1s, one off volume profile, stopped the market in its tracks. One off price profile, that's a number 1 trade, stopped the market in its tracks. Right? So what do I educate you on? Why are we smarter than a lot of market profile traders out there? Because we know that once a level is rejected off a number 1 with trend, if that level ever breaks, we're looking for the first retest short off that level because old support becomes new resistance. Here's a rejected level number 1. Here's a rejected level number 1. It starts consolidating on it. Then it breaks. Then we get the perfect number 3 that we're looking for. I said if it breaks, look for a number 3. Break, retest. There's your JaySignal Fibonacci dot. There's your arrow that we're in an L8 wave short. There's your exact order and balance bar to get in. Then you take your first contracts off and then you let the runner run. This is perfectly set up this morning. There's no way you could have had a loss on the number 1 because that's the first test in the number 1 on volume profile. Hit first target easy. No way you could have a loss on price profile this morning on the number 1. Hit first target easy. We don't trade multiples after the first test, right? We can take the second test if it's a first test of that other profile, which was here. But then we're no longer taking number 1s over here. We don't take number 1s in here. We're smarter than that. You're more educated than that. I teach you not to take these. So what we're going to do is we're looking for a short now off this number 1. Because we know if this number 1 breaks, it's going to break, retest off that level. We know all the stops are in here. It's going to retest. And to make it simple, you just let HVA, LVA break, take the retest short. Just like, now this is a motive wave, right? There's only 2 wave patterns. There's 1 trade set up with JaySignal, but there's 2 wave patterns. All right, so here's a motive wave. That's a 5-minute trend right there. Well, here's a corrective wave because 5-minute trend is up because it got back inside of HVA. So my rule of thumb states if it gets back inside of HVA, I'm allowed to take the corrective wave. So this is corrective, the first JaySignal short with the triangle. Right there, corrective. So I've only have 2 trade, I have 1 trade set up with 2 wave patterns, a corrective and a motive. A motive are the easy ones I just pointed out before it happened right here. Give you a big heads up on this one. I said that's the next trade setup. How do I know that? Do you think it's just lucky that I know that that's the next trade setup, that it comes down and it breaks retest? You think it's just luck? That we got over almost 250, almost 300 videos on the same exact setup? No, it's market profile. Peter Stoudemire, God bless him, in 1985 came out with market profile. It changed the whole game. 1985, more price. 1994, more volume. Thank you, Peter. I just came up with a way with my own proprietary technique how to trade it. I trade it with just 2 setups, a number 1, number 3. It should bounce with trend off of a number 1, and once that number 1 breaks, it should retest off that number 1, and she should go low. And it worked out perfect again this morning. Just like it did on crude, just like it did on gold this morning also. There's only 2 wave patterns. A motive with 5-minute trend with these moving average trend, and corrective against the moving average trend, but it's got to break inside a high value, retest, go short. It did this morning. Here's the big one. I showed you my trade this morning right here. That's the big one I had this morning. I showed you how I traded that. I got the whole piece right here. Got back inside of LVA, big inflection point. Got back inside of HVA, big inflection point. Tested LVA, big inflection point. Tested LVA, big inflection point with trend. Broke LVA, retested LVA, big inflection point, number 3 short. Look what I'm doing. I'm predicating my trades off profile, profile, profile. Here's another big inflection point, but it never gave me a signal. Never gave me a signal here. Here's another big inflection point. These are the inflection points you should trade as a trader. Here, here, here. Another big inflection point. Right when it's breaking through profile. Another big inflection point. Another big inflection point. And the inflection point that I just called out way before it happened, bam. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to continue to do this, guys and gals. I want you guys and gals, everyone, to be successful off profile. We just got to continue to run the trade. Now look at the 5-sim Reiko, the big trade. Here's a trade setup that I do on my private conference calls. My private conference calls say this. Take the first trade after the moving average cross. Here's my trend filter. There's your moving average cross, shorter through the longer. You're allowed to take the first sell. There's my exact trade that I teach you to short. Nailed it. My 5-sim has actually been 3 for 3 today. 1, 2, 3, my long-term time frame. I don't show it in the room because I don't have enough real estate. But if you have JaySignal on your own charts, you put it beside each other like this, and look at that visual you get. You not only got your long time frame over here, you can see you broke back inside a high value area. Clearly is a corrective wave on the 3 coming up. That set that 3 up right here. I mean, look at this. Look at this match. You got the 5 that's just begging you to short the corrective wave. Look at that. Broke back inside a high value area. It's hitting you right in the face. Ding, ding, ding. Don't trade what you think. Trade what you see. You break back inside a high value. You break inside a high value here. You get the JaySignal short. There's your corrective wave here. On the 3-sim, here's your corrective wave on the 5. Either one you took, called it. This one right here, huge short. Almost a $700 short just on that trade right there too. Put the charts beside each other. If you trade off the 3-sim, be smart about it. Don't even trade the 3-sim if you're trading JaySignal by itself unless you get inside a profile or outside a profile on your own Ninja charts. It's not that hard to understand where the big inflection points are. But I'm educating you that the best way to trade my system is to let market profile set the trade up. Let JaySignal be your trigger or entry and stop. Then you scale out, use my symmetry dots or your own order ATM, and then try to get the other side of profile. Big inflection point, big inflection point, big inflection point, big inflection point, big inflection point. And here's the last big one I called before it even happened. That's just being smarter than your average opponent. You're not trading against anybody in this room. You're trading against your trading opponents that have these high frequency traders, all these algorithms. But we got our own algorithm, don't we? We got our own algorithm that says, hey, there's my exact entry short. And our algorithm nailed the high. It nailed it. And we knew that it's a high probability trade because I educate you, the best number 3s are the ones that get rejected off the number 1s. Good job. Everybody have a great weekend, guys and gals.